As you may or may not know, I am a licensed bartender in the state of Washington. That is correct. I have my mixologist permit, and I took the class with, can you guess? My dear mother. Yes, we took a bartending course together at Green River Community College. That's probably one of the more awkward things that that you can, do in a classroom with your mom, and is learning about alcoholic beverages. Because if you have any awareness of alcoholic beverages, many of them are not appropriate at all. So, yeah, I won't go into a lot of detail, but it's just kind of awkward. Hey, your mom's there. Let's make a sex on the beach. And then everybody laughs, and then there I am like, But it was a great class. Learned so much. Even though I tended bar before this class, which I'm not sure if that's entirely legal, but hey, it was Montana, out in the middle of nowhere. There are very few law enforcement personnel out there. So I did bartending stuff out there. And I didn't do a lot of specialty cocktails. As a matter of fact, when I was a bartender in Montana, we had one gentleman come down into the Curly Bear bar, and he said, "I'd like a White Russian." Now, I knew how to make a White Russian. They're very, very simple. But we didn't have any of the ingredients for it. So I was like, I'd be happy to run upstairs to the other bar and get some cream, but I don't know if you would be more comfortable up there, because I'm used to serving Coors Light and PBRs down here. And he was a nice guy, and I did end up running up and getting some cream for the White Russian and made that for him. So that was my bartending experience up until this point. And the class itself was really cool because she had real bottles there, she being our instructor, and she filled them with water and put some stoppers in there, and we just practiced over and over and over again doing the count, 1, 2, 3, 4, to count out a shot. And then, after you poured it into a bowl, you would measure it into the jigger to see if in fact you poured a good shot. And so we learned about free pouring, which now I know that free pouring is almost an art. It really is. There's just so much to it. There's, if you slosh it too much, you won't actually get a lot of alcohol out. But to a person who's already had a beer, they think that you're really dumping the alcohol in. There are all these techniques that I learned, some of which I already knew. Like, for example, if you make a rum and coke, and a guy says there's not enough rum in it, which happens quite a bit, then you just get the rum bottle and you put a quick float on top, and then you take their straw out so that they have to sip it. And then when they sorry, a road is closed, I'm a little distracted, I'll go this way. And then when they sip it straight, they're basically sipping pure rum because you took the straw out of their glass. They can't sip down below. Isn't that brilliant? And so then they just get straight rum, and they're like, whoa, wow, you just put all this in here. Yep, just for you, Marty, just for you. Things like that. Also, interesting technique, women bartenders, you ever notice that they have really low cut shirts? That is completely purposeful. They are doing that just for tips. To the point where our instructor actually mentioned it in this college course. She said, "Women, if you want tips, flaunt it." Yeah, that's it. Basically, it's up there with prostitution. You know what I mean? If it gets you money, yeah, let your body go. You know what I mean now by like, hey, my mommy is here. Let's not talk about these kind of things. But it was so much fun. I don't regret it at all. It really wasn't that awkward. It was so much fun. Learned so much. And to this day, I take many of those skills that I learned in that bartending course and apply them to other areas in my life. Interpersonal communication, even to the point of making coffee. I just translate those things over. And bartending, in case you don't know or you've never really experienced tending bar before, I will share with you one last secret as I depart here. Bartending is 10% making drinks and 90% social interaction. It really is. Many people think, oh, you need to memorize all these drinks. It helps, it really does, but if you're stumped, you either A, look it up, or preferably B, you ask the customer. Say, hey, I'm really sorry, it's been a long time since I've made a electric Long Island iced tea. Well, how do you make it? I know that electric means that you put a float of tequila on top, and then the customer will be happy to tell you how to make a drink if you don't know how to. Delighted to. And then you have them taste it, and of course, since they coached you through it, it's perfect. Like, oh yeah, right on the head. And then you just charge them for however much alcohol you put in there. So there you go. It's just all about BSing your way through everything. Bartending, really great, really fun. It's up there with being a therapist, only you supply them with drugs to loosen them up. Yeah,